Podcast, episode 269 with Mimi Landru. What's going on, girlie?
What's going on? Thank you for having me.
Of course. Fun having you. We were talking about OCD before we got started, and I was going to talk about the aliens thing because you asked because you were saying that you don't believe in therapy. I was saying I don't believe in Jesus.
Okay, I don't know if I believe in therapy for me.
Yeah, it's not for everybody, but it is helpful. Like, I get why talking to someone, like, talking through your thought process with somebody could be helpful. I mean, people do it with their friends. You know, like, some people have to pay for it. You know? It's like sex. Some people get it for free, and others have to pay for it.
And some people just do both.
Yeah, or you do both.
If they can.
If you're into it, that's your kind of thing.
Yeah, that could be like a kink for somebody.
Do you have the girlfriend experience with your therapist, or the boyfriend experience with your therapist?
I've only had female therapists.
I only go to male therapists. I wouldn't, because I don't want there to be any sexual undertones. Like, if I was ever attracted to my therapist, I was like, this is not going to work.
I do know a guy, speaking of like the pay for sex versus not paying for sex, he has a specific kink where he likes to go to massage parlors to get hand jobs.
Yeah, that is a thing. But that's not even the weirdest kink out there. That's pretty fucking pedestrian for kinks. Getting a hand job at a massage parlor is pretty fucking normal. I mean, nowadays, dude, I had a I don't know what you call it. I guess she's a sex worker, but she's she works in porn actress and she does OnlyFans, but she also she specializes in something called financial domination.
Okay.
Where she literally just like gets guys credit cards and bank accounts and extorts them.
Amazing.
And that's a kink.
I love it.
That's what I'm saying. But
I know it is.
That's the guy's kink. So like that.
I've done that too.
Yeah, unwittingly.
I've been like,
you did
Venmo
your father.
me
For years, you were just spending money on his credit card.
Oh no, I didn't really grow up with a dad. That's why I'm here.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah,
fits right into the podcast.
Yeah, just right in. Ready, set, blow. But no, there's a couple guys have been like, Venmo me $300, and they do. Okay. One time I blackmailed a guy.
Well, that's the thing about the financial domination. It's not so much just send me money. Like, every girl wants gifts. Every girl will take a fucking Venmo. You know, I mean, that's the entire business model of OnlyFans. But I'm talking about, like, she has, like, his wife's phone number and will threaten to like, blow up his family.
So she's like probably
like all sorts of sick, weird mental shit. You know, like putting him on edge is like what gets him off.
That's a little bit of a dom, also dominatrix. Yeah. But I have something that can top that.
What's that?
I do. So one of my good friends who's a dom, she calls me up one day. She text messaged me. She was on the plane and she goes, "Hey, can you take a photo of your trash right now in the bathroom? Make sure there's like some tampons, some dirty Kleenexes in it or whatever. I have to send it to this guy because he wants right now to buy a photo of my bathroom trash so he can jerk off to it."
Wow.
So I took a photo of my bathroom trash, sent it to her while she was on the plane so she could send it to him.
Okay. Holy shit. Jerking off to bathroom trash. That's got to be the saddest kink I've ever heard in my life.
It's pretty sad.
I mean,
I love it. I think it's great.
What's the saddest thing you've ever masturbated to, Mike? Please don't tell me it was someone's trash.
No, and I'm so cheap. Like, I still come from like the birth of the internet time, so it's like we find it for free. Like, I couldn't imagine paying for.
I mean, I used to jerk off to like the Victoria's Secret catalog, you know, like because I'm just old enough to remember a time before free porn on the internet.
Oh yeah, and you couldn't beat like the 1990s Victoria's Secret models.
Oh
like,
yeah,
they were so beautiful, and they had barely had any work done. If they did, it was so slight. There wasn't a lot of nepotism. It wasn't so-and-so's daughter. It wasn't a Kardashian.
I remember the Sports Illustrated, the swimsuit edition. And now it's like, they have like trans women and like Lizzo is in it.
They've got everybody.
Where do we go? Where do we go from here?
It's right, and then and I support body positivity and trans women.
But this is like one of the things that was supposed to be like
the whole fantasy.
They got rid of the Victoria's Secret thing, didn't they? Didn't they cancel the annual show? Is it still going?
No, I believe it's still going.
Because I feel like that's what's next. Like they've already canceled most of beauty pageants. They are, especially kids beauty pageants. That's really fucking weird.
I was in kids beauty pageants. What do you got to say about that?
Well, that's a very popular thing in the South. I feel like doing those like debutante balls and shit. It's weird. That's always weird.
The pageants I did though, they always had a talent portion and an interview.
to really get the pedophiles horned up.
So It reminded
really get 'em going.
It reminded me of the podcast I'm on today. Lots of the same kind of questions and topics when I was 8 years old.
Asking you about geopolitics.
Actually, no. What's funny is I was in Preteen America when I was 11 and 12 years old. Preteen America, and there was one segment of it was you had to do a knowledge test that was 50 questions.
Okay, what kind of basic knowledge did you need to have?
It was just like geography, politics, basically just anything about the country as a whole, because you were competing against, girls from, all 50 states, plus Puerto Rico.
Okay.
And so, I was in this pageant, and you had a costume competition, you had talent, you had interview, you had public speaking.
What was your talent?
I did ventriloquism and sang. Yeah.
Ventriloquism?
Yeah.
Can you were you good at throwing your voice?
I mean, I guess.
You don't have to do it now.
I know most men don't really like it.
It'd be great if you just fucking whipped out a puppet. Oh.
I do. I should have brought my puppet.
What did you call your puppet?
My puppet at the time, his name was Danny, but the part
of... Just a dirty cum rag? It's like your brother, you put eyeballs on it?
I was 11. It was a real ventriloquism doll with like a wooden head.
Those are so creepy.
It was dressed in a lederhosen because we sang The Lonely Goat Herd. I yodeled with the dummy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Do you have video of this?
I do. Well, I don't know if I have video of photos.
Oh, I was going to say, this should be on TikTok.
I got videos somewhere. But the segment I won in the pageant.
Danny the German and lederhosen.
The segment I won in the pageant was I won the knowledge test out of all the girls. Okay. So I really took a lot of pride in that. I was a big nerd. Those were the kind of pageants I did.
What did you get? Score out of 50?
I got 50 out of 50.
Wow. All right.
I got a little trophy.
So you're not like that blonde chick who didn't know what a fucking map was. Remember her from a few years back?
Yeah, it's South Africa.
Yeah, and America and everywhere.
Yeah, and world peace. Mm-hmm.
You gotta watch that video again. Shout out to my man Mario Lopez. I fucking love that guy. I'm a big Saved by the Bell fan. Mario, he follows me on Twitter. I made one joke about him once. Yeah, shout out Mario Lopez. He's the one who asked that question. I completely forgot he was the host of that in that magical moment. And he asked the question. He hands over the mic, and she fucking stumbles so poorly through that.
Oh yeah.
And then he pulls back the mic, the smirk on his face, because he knows he's part of TV history now. I feel like he knew in that moment how big that clip was gonna be. He could not barely hold in some laughter. Mike, can you pull that up? Can we look at this? You got to see this. And can you play the audio in the feed?
Hey, yeah, I'll just play.
Mike's the man.
Miss South Carolina, USA. It should come right up.
What I watch this once every few months.
There it is. Yeah, That's it.
Miss Teen USA 2007.
Recent polls have shown a fifth of Americans.
They can hear it. You can't. You
don't
have headphones.
Why do you think this is?
Well, you know what's funny? Do you remember last year when Harry Styles did that press junket about that movie he did? And he goes, and it's the movie, and he just kind of made a lot of fumbles like that. And it was very similar to this. I did a little TikTok comparing the two clips last year. Yeah.
South Africa and
South Africa, Iraq.
It's South Africa and the Iraq over here, and the U.S. should help the U.S. should help South Africa
and topography.
It should help the Iraq and the Asian countries. So we will be able to.
Look at his face! Look at his face!
And then
Thank you very much, South Carolina.
And then she said, "Black Lives Matter."
His face right before he pulled away the mic.
And then she said, "Black Lives Matter." She was really ahead of her time.
Oh, really? Look,
yeah, she was so ahead of her time.
Right there, Mike. Back it up. It's 10 seconds. His face.
So we will be able to build up.
He knows. He's like, I got this shit. He's like, I'm gonna live in history with this clip.
Oh wow.
He's like, I got to get him on the podcast. Mario Lopez, if you're ever listening, please come on the show. I would love to talk about this moment for the full hour. So you never had a goof like that, thank God.
No, never.
Thank God.
Never.
So were you better at the ventriloquism? What was the other talent?
Singing. I would sing and do the ventriloquism.
You would sing with the puppet? Mm-hmm. Would the puppet sing too? You had two voices?
I would yodel.
Oh.
Well, next time you're on the pod, you're bringing the puppet.
Yeah. Where is the puppet?
Randy, do you want to sit in my lap?
I know, right?
You can be the puppet. I can fist you
me
right up there, make your mouth start moving. Yeah,
Did you treat the puppet like a puppet? Because I know Jeff Dunham treats his like people.
I'm not weird like him.
I know, right?
So.
I know, right? that guy needs therapy if he does that. If he's like, hey.
Well, he's got millions. Who can get the best, right?
I know. See, that's one of the things that bugs me about. That's a very American thing. I feel like, or maybe it's a youth thing. I don't know. Like it's if someone's rich, it excuses all their behavior. It's like, oh, he secured the bag. It's like he's still a fucking jerk or weirdo or this. Like, it's like, oh, I'm trying to give a good example. Like Conor McGregor, right? Like he talks a lot of shit, and he's kind of an asshole. It's like, oh, but he's rich. It's like, so what? It doesn't make him not an asshole. Like, maybe that's a bad example because I don't know.
Floyd Mayweather.
He punched an old man at a bar. Like,
yeah,
cool. I don't care.
Yeah, it's like whatever. He secured that bag. It's like it excuses all your just because you're rich or you got rich despite being an asshole. Andrew Tate, another guy. Like, the guy's a fucking unlikable guy. He's like, oh, whatever, son. He's rich. He's making that paper. It's like that doesn't mean it's okay to be a fucking jerk.
He's the top G. Whatever that means. What about Logan and Jake Paul?
They got a lot of hate, and some people love him. I spend so little time thinking about them. I didn't know two people. I was literally last year when I learned it was two different people. Because there was the one that's the wrestler, and then the one that's the actual boxer. And I was like, wait, the boxing guy does wrestling, and my buddy Jeff's like, no, that's his brother Logan. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, Logan and Jake Paul. I was like, I thought there was just one guy. I didn't know it was two dudes. Because it's not on my radar.
They're brothers.
But
I don't know.
the thing, but people get sucked into it, and I'm fascinated by that. People who get famous for no talent, like what did they do? They weren't actors. They weren't musicians. They were just on YouTube and became famous.
I mean, at least Kim K had a sex tape.
Yeah, she fucked a B artist's brother. You know what I'm saying? Like she wasn't even fucking to the top. She fucked like she fucked like middle management and turned that into fame. It's pretty. It was a wild move on her part.
So I mean, that took something.
The genius in that family though is Chris. She's pimping all of them out.
Well, she's the momager.
The mom. I never heard that term.
You've never heard that before?
Momager? No.
She's the momager. Yeah.
Was your mom like that with the beauty pageants and shit?
No, it was my choice to be.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And how long did you go into this?
I did pageants probably on and off from. Well, it was kind of hard because I was an ugly kid, but I was talented, so I wasn't doing.
What? You did well on the pageants based on your ventriloquism, not your looks.
I did the pageants for like smart girls that were like scholarship recognition programs. Okay. I didn't do toddlers and tiaras or play whatever.
That's what's weird.
That's what's weird.
Anyone involved in child beauty pageants should be put on a fucking watch list. I mean, from the parents on down. Like, think about it. Like, if you're like the commissioner of like a preteen beauty pageant, and you're just like some 58-year-old guy, it's like, how is that guy not under a microscope?
Well, what's funny though? A lot of the men that are affiliated with pageants in the South are gay. They just love the pageantry of it and the glitz and the glamour.
That's even weirder to me.
And then a lot of them are closeted too, because it kind of provides an
like
outlet.
Musical theater. It's like the only place they can go and be
extra
and fucking play with crowns and not be found out that they're gay.
Yeah, and it's definitely something where it's still, you can still be ostracized in the South for being gay.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, they're a couple decades behind.
So for
some parts, I mean, you go to any, it's really any big city. It's all kind of the same. Mm-hmm. Like I've been to Huntsville. It's pretty.
What were you doing in the Rocket City?
I was doing comedy at Stand Up Live, Huntsville, Alabama.
Where NASA. That's where NASA is.
I know.
Interesting.
I like NASA, but
interesting.
It was a normal town. It seemed all right. People were wearing shoes and shirts, like it was,
Did you see any aliens when you were there?
No, I wish. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. That's right. So we went from therapy being fake to aliens being real.
Yeah.
And what I wanted to bring up, and Mike, I don't know if you're feeling me on this, because you seem like the kind of guy that's into a little bit of conspiracy.
Saying I look like a guy who's got time on his hands.
You're not QAnon, are you, or Pizzagate?
No. Mike's. I feel like any guy that deals with electronics is into the internet, is into conspiracy theory. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you have this many cameras, you got to be onto some deep corners of YouTube checking shit out. But anyway, what I find interesting is how, for years, this whole UFO conspiracy has been around. Like, are they real? Are they not real? Finally, the government is having legitimate hearings on it, and legitimate government personnel are talking about how agencies have alien bodies, have alien spacecraft, and nobody cares.
I care. I care deeply.
But I'm saying, like, this would have been like the biggest story ever, and now the government's like copping to it, and I feel like it's because they're trying to distract us from some other thing. You know?
I don't know. I mean, there's always something, right? But I mean, honestly, like if there are aliens, does anything else even matter?
That's my point.
Nothing matters if there's
aliens. That should be the biggest story in the world right now.
I agree.
It's the only thing we should be talking about. Is that there's alien life and we have their dead bodies.
Well,
in a
I don't
bunker
know.
Somewhere.
I believe the only two things we should be talking about are aliens and the Alabama riverboat brawl.
Alabama riverboat brawl. What happened in Alabama?
What the fuck?
Okay.
Oh,
I don't
shit.
know, huh?
Pull up the footage.
We know
This
what
is
we're
new?
doing now.
Let's go.
When did this drop?
It's like almost worth getting headphones for. Jeez.
When did this drop?
Drop. It happened last Saturday evening in Montgomery,
man.
Alabama.
Sorry, I've been on a little bit of a bender for work.
So
do
should
I find the best footage?
the premise of it?
Yeah. Let me give the background here.
So Montgomery, Alabama. Picture this.
Okay.
It's an early evening.
All right,
There's
talk slower. I'm getting hard.
There's a bunch. Oh yeah. There's a bunch
Alabama
of.
evening.
There's a bunch of white, probably racist guys with hats on, and they're taking up this boat, the boat dock, right?
Yeah.
And there's a riverboat that's designated to park there. And the black guy that's like captain or whatever of the boat is like, "Hey, you guys need to move."
I like it. A black captain.
And the guy and yeah, but
Progress.
and then the fucking white dudes are like, "No, we ain't moving." So finally, said black dude gets out of the boat, rows over, and he's like, "Hey, you guys got to move seriously. You know, we got to dock this big riverboat."
Oh, so he's like running like a big operation.
The white guys just start wailing on this lone security guard. Mm-hmm. And then everybody comes to help him. And so it was basically 3 or 4 white guys on one black guy. And they're pretty sure it was racially motivated. And when you look at and me being from Alabama, when you look at the history, obviously, when you look at where the white guys are from, they're from Selma, Alabama originally. Yeah, it was just racially motivated, and the guys
You look
are
at
assholes.
their pink shorts.
You look at their little visors on their heads. Yeah.
Their pink. Oh.
It was crazy.
Oh, black guy's like, yeah.
And he tosses a hat in the air to send a signal to his friends, or to his new friends.
He's ready to go for it, son. Good for the black guy. He's taking them all on, son. Oh, now they're stomping his ass.
Then
And so then it just turned into a huge brawl. A guy jumped out of the riverboat.
What kind of
goes
injuries
to
we
aid
got
the
here?
security
Anybody get fucking
guard.
really cracked out?
Everybody's pretty much okay.
Yeah, see, that's what happens. A bunch of old, fat, drunk fucks.
Yeah.
There were some
Just
highlights.
idiots.
It's hard to find it all on.
Yeah, there was like
I know.
there was like a guy with a folding chair that was hitting and wailing on everybody.
Oh, I saw that with the yellow folding chair.
Yeah.
I did catch that.
It was pretty epic. So Black Twitter loves it.
It's
They've
kind of
gone
crazy
nuts.
because I mean, like, it seems like this is like a normal river tour that's there all the time, and these guys are like, no, we don't want to let it dock. The hat flip was wild.
Yeah, the hat flip was like I said, a signal. Just look at that. And the thing is, like, these like fat white guys drinking Natty Light, they don't even know how to fucking fight. They're a bunch
they're
of
all
pussies.
hammered. These guys are just.
They're like, hey guys. Their names are like.
Oh, and then just a crew of
Chad.
black guys show up.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, it's like a prison riot.
Oh God.
All right.
And then the women get involved.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever women get involved in a fight, it just gets 10 times worse for the men.
And then the women start hitting the women.
Mm-hmm.
Oh really?
Oh, yeah. The black women had to start hitting the white women that were hitting the black men.
All right. Dude, I'm surprised not a single pistol. Alabama. What's up? I mean, good for you. You had an old fucking fashioned fist fight. I mean, obviously I don't condone race riots, but I'm glad no one pulled out a goddamn firearm and shot at each other.
I do like the pause for the hat.
It is. It is a lot. But yeah, I
That's
mean, like,
pretty savvy.
I would have thought one of those guys would have been armed and pulled out a gun. This day and age, man. I mean,
Listen, those are not those guys. There's a certain subsect of Southern men that's preppy, fat, and
Okay.
drunk, and
Okay.
they don't carry guns like that.
these are the
They're-
golf club folks.
Those are the golf club boys.
Okay,
exactly.
Gotcha.
And they just saw their chance just to be assholes, and that's what they did. And then this is what's happened.
So how long did you when did you leave Alabama? I mean, I can hear it in your voice, but like,
you can hear it. Do I have an accent?
a little bit.
I left Alabama in May of 2010.
Oh, so you spent a good amount of time. Like it wasn't like you like got out right at 18 you ran.
No, I went to University of Alabama and did the whole
Okay.
college thing, and I was in grad school, and then I met a Army officer.
Oh, were you married?
Yeah.
How long are you married?
I was married from 2010 to 2015, 5 years.
You did 5 years?
I did 5 years, yeah. Did 5 years
Good
time.
stretch.
5-year enlistment.
What happened, if you don't mind me asking? Who cheated on who?
Nobody. He may have cheated on me. I don't know.
Okay.
Did you cheat? Did you?
Reach out to the
Casey?
Ready Set Blow podcast
Yeah, right.
DMs.
Ready,
Exactly,
set.
yeah.
You still have my phone number.
What happened, if you want me asking?
My enlistment was up. He got out of the military and he was just
You guys
like,
got divorced because your enlistments were up?
it's a joke.
Yeah, you know, I'm done with the military, so I'll see you later, too.
Exactly. I don't need a wife anymore. Bye. Yeah, that's kind of what happened.
Okay.
And
Were you in the Army, too?
No. I was a journalist. This is, and I wasn't even thinking. I was actually at my wedding dress rehearsal dinner. One of my good friends, her father, said to me, he was like, you should be a stand-up comedian. And I was like, that's a crazy thought because I'm moving to Hawaii and I'm an Army wife now. How am I ever going to be a
Well, at
stand-up
least you had to go to
comedian?
Hawaii before it was lit on fucking fire.
Oh, I know. Isn't
Terrible,
that
right?
terrible?
Terrible.
So sad. Yeah, it was in Maui, but I lived on Oahu.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was there for 3 years, moved to North Carolina with him for 2. We split when we were living in North Carolina. He moved out west. I stayed in North Carolina for a year and then moved up to New York.
All right. Yeah. See, that's the thing. I feel like Army relationships, there's always some infidelity. It's like 90%. One or the other person's fucking
It
around,
was
or both.
honestly, it was never me. I never cheated on my husband.
Okay.
I had sex with the same guy for 6 years during my 20s. Can you fucking imagine?
I mean, that's...
You probably can't.
I did. I was fucking... I didn't get out of my thing until I was 29.
Oh, look at us.
I made up for it in my 30s, though.
Hey, put her there. I
I mean,
know.
you make it back- nah,
I feel
make up
like
for
all
me.
these like 20-something-year-old guys is now kind of like my personal reparations for like being married. And I didn't get to like, go out with guys in my 20s when I was in my 20s. So now it's like,
I feel
all
like
right,
that shit was
it's game
overrated.
time.
I feel like your 20s in general is overrated. You think you
They
know
are.
what the fuck's
Oh,
what.
you don't know shit.
I mean, I can't think of a single one of my friends that benefited from their behavior in their 20s. Like all of them are divorced or on this. Now they're on the. They're better now. They're on the second wives or not at all. Like I mean, it was fun, but it certainly wasn't. It wasn't like I grew a ton in my 20s. Like it was mostly mistakes and goofing off and drinking and fucking working too hard and partying too hard. Like, it wasn't like there was no personal growth. I was like, I really came to a profound thought in my 20s. Never happened.
See,
you know what I'm saying? Like it never happened.
My 20s, it was basically I was going through the motions of I had a career. I was a journalist, and then I was editor of a magazine when I lived in North Carolina. Cool. And I was a wife. Like, I would get up, make breakfast, go to work, come back, make sure dinner was on the table by 6 p.m.
Why'd you do all that? You don't have to. Modern women don't do any of that bullshit, man. I haven't met a girl that can cook better than me in fucking years.
Well, I didn't say I cooked well, but I cooked, I mean, I really tried. And I did all of that. And now I can't even imagine.
Did he expect all that?
Yeah.
Wow. And you went along with it, huh?
He went to West Point. They were by the book,
I know. Those guys are... I'll tell you what, though. I hung out with a few of those guys. I played rugby in college. And they would come... We would play one game there, and they'd play a series of games by us. And they were always a good time. Very nice guys. Very, very...
Oh, yeah.
They were, like, super fucking thrilled. Like, so we, like... After a rugby game, you invite people to the clubhouse for a drink up. That's what they call it. Where you host the other team and you get, they drink for free or whatever. They were so thrilled that they were able, because they were spending the night, like, oh, we can get drunk with you guys? I'm like, yeah, you guys, liquor's free, have as much as you want. Because it's a dry campus up at West Point, and there's no chicks. So finally,
there are chicks there.
I mean, it's some that they come up, but it's not like co-ed,
Yes, the women go to West Point.
But it's like 90-10. It's fucking.
But there's still women that go
army
to West
of
Point.
dudes.
Okay.
Come on, let's be honest here. Yeah, there are women there. And there are, I'm sure some are even professors, but it's like saying like, there's some men on a cheerleading squad. Yeah, but most of them are chicks. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, let's be honest here. So they're like, oh, can you guys invite girls over? I'm like, yeah, man, we'll invite a ton of girls. They were just like so thrilled that we were like, allowing them to have like a normal college experience where they weren't having to get up for PT and doing, and just fucking making their bed and shit. Like, they just hung out like normal kids for a fucking weekend. They were super thrilled about that. So I've only had nice things to say about him, except your ex-husband. What do you do? No. How did he fuck this thing up?
He just woke up one day and was like, I don't want to be married to you anymore. Dead ass.
How'd you take that? Or did you were you like, you know what? I felt like we were drifting.
We were, but I was just like, this is normal stuff, you know, like that couples go through. And it was also like just several weeks before we were about to move to Washington State, and I was almost about to quit my job.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
so it was, the timing was really nuts and crazy. And, you know, like so many things, you know, happened during that point. I remember he was still staying in North Carolina for a month before he moved moved to Washington State. And so I came out to Los Angeles for a couple of weeks just to kind of blow off steam, go out with guys, party.
This when you met Paul?
I'm sorry?
This when you met our friend Paul?
No, I met Paul years before that.
Okay, he was just on the podcast a couple weeks ago.
Oh my God, yeah. No, I met Paul
last week, actually.
In 2006 on my 21st birthday randomly. So my aunt lives here in LA.
Okay.
So I came out here, you know, in 2015. I was just like, I want to be with my family. So I was here, you know, had a great fucking time. When I flew back into North Carolina, reality just hit, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be living on my own for the first time. This is crazy. I was 30.
Okay, yes. So I
was 30.
I ended my whole thing right before my 30th birthday. Yeah.
But you know what the craziest thing was though, that whole month of January, I just had to like avoid where my ex was because he was moving at the end of the month out west. So I wasn't going to like, you know, our old bars. I wasn't hanging out with like our like mutual like guy friends because
the exit is tough. Like
the exit was crazy.
I made very sure it was quick. Like, you know, I didn't quibble about money. I was like, whatever you need.
Were you married or were you just in a relationship?
Yeah, I mean.
Then you were better than my ex because he was certainly like, you're not. He treated a 6-year relationship, 5 years of that were married, as like a 6-month.
Yeah. Well, so I essentially called off the wedding. So it was right, but we were living together. She was on the mortgage to my house. She was on the deed.
Oh shit. Okay.
The car, the dog, the whole. You can't just fucking.
Well, this was in LA?
I was back in Boston. So I'm from New York, but I was living in Boston. Then I moved out here. But I mean, I want to say it was June, and by the end of the month, we were living in separate places. Like,
gotcha.
It was bang bang. Like,
oh, mine was quick too.
I told her like June 1st or something like that, and yeah, it must have been right after my birthday. I think it was right. So my birthday's in May. No, it would have. So she was out by June 1st. So I told her like beginning of May. Like I went down and stayed with my family for a week. She went and stayed with her, and then I came back. She went and stayed with her family for a week. Then we were like around the house, you know, with each other for like 2 weeks. But I was, you know, staying at a friend, and she was at a friend. So we really didn't cross paths, and she was like out by June 1st. So I like gave her help them, you know, move and all that stuff. So take whatever furniture you need because I like this. The untangling of it is always tough, and the faster you do that. The better off you're going to be.
Oh, well, mine was...
You know, and there's none of this call, DM me, I miss you, let's hook up.
Oh, I've never done that. Oh,
none of that.
No, exactly.
I've never had sex with an ex. I don't...
Same.
Why? You know, like,
why? Yeah.
like, I left for a reason. Like, oh, I'm gonna drag this thing out.
No.
No. Oh, it's the worst.
Yeah, no, but it was, and you'll like this, but that whole month that I was kind of like avoiding him because I was just making sure it was clean in that way. I mean, I sued him because, again, we were married and there were assets and things like that. But I stayed away. But I remember one night, it was at the end of the month, one of my friends said to me, hey, come out. It's this girl's birthday we were friends with. We're going to Secrets, which is a strip club in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
It sounds like a strip
Secrets.
Club. I know how Southern strip clubs name their fucking clubs. You know, like in Florida, it's like Tootsie's or you know,
yeah.
But you get in, you know, to the Gulf states, you know, Alabama, Mississippi. They're a little less slutty about their strip club names.
This is North Carolina.
Desires, you know?
Bible Belt area.
Exactly, yeah. They try not to put it out there on Front Street. You know, there's no like, you know, the Jiggly Room. They don't call it that. Like, they make it a little more slick.
It's not going to be called Blumpkins. You
get Blumpkins.
But so I felt like shit. I was sick that night, you know, and something told me to go out. And so I did. And I'm standing there with this group of guys I was friends with. They were all Delta Force. Okay. So they were all big as fuck, hot as fuck, right? On one side of me was a semi-pro hockey team that was in my town. So it was all these hot Canadian 21-year-olds on one. So I'm like in heaven right now for a recent 30-year-old divorcee. And in walked my ex-husband into the strip club right before
What's he going to do about it? Fight his way through these 30 dudes to the
gangbang?
Hey, He's gonna punch his way to the front.
So, but that was literally the last moment I ever saw my ex-husband was in a strip club in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Alone?
He was with one of our mutual guy friends.
Okay. And he's sitting there seeing you surrounded by a bunch of dudes. What did he do? He just walked off?
One of the girls that was in the military goes, "Oh my God, that's your ex? I met him last week at a party." And I said, "Really?" She goes, "Yeah." She goes, "Let me go say something to him and talk shit." And I was like, "Go ahead." Well, all she did was she was just like, "Hey, how are you?" And I saw his face lit up, and it reminded me of like when we were first dating. And I was like, "Oh God."
So he thought
he thought he was like, and then
he
he sees her just like walk right back to me, and then he left because I had like a restraining order on him. So I got to stay at the strip club, and he didn't.
I was gonna say, like, if I walked in and my ex was at the strip club, I'd probably just go find my favorite girl and go to the back.
Oh no, he wasn't a G like that.
And retire to the back.
He wasn't a top G like that. A top R.
A top spender. A fucking mark.
Yeah, I mean, my ex was cheap, so he was probably just like looking at the girls.
He was there for the nickel slots.
Yeah, the nickel slots
for the big money prizes. So you're lucky you didn't have kids though. No kids. Was he pushing for it? Were you pushing for it? Or did you guys like?
Neither one of us were.
Okay.
Neither one of us.
See, that's where it gets sticky. You know?
Do you have kids?
Fuck no. Kids.
Can you imagine us having kids living in LA?
I can't. I can barely take care of myself.
God, I know.
But also, I'm selfish. That's the other thing too. Like some people won't admit that. Like, it's like I've only had one guest come on this podcast and successfully sell me on having children.
Really?
Yeah, it's a buddy of mine, Zach Brazow. Funny guy, I got a boss. I think he's doing well in New York now. He's killing it. But anyway, he came on and I was like, he's like, "Oh yeah, I want a family and kids." I'm like, "Why?" Everyone's like, "Oh, love." I'm like, "Bullshit." Yeah. Or they're like, "Oh, security." Like, yeah, whatever, it lies. But he was like, "No, I want kids because I want someone to take care of me when I'm old." He's like, I'm Portuguese, the Portuguese culture. Like, when my mom's old, I have to take her in. It's like, so when I get old, I want my fucking kids to take me in. It's like, I just want somewhere to be when I'm 80 years old. And I'm like, you know what? That's an answer I can get behind. Because like the selfishness of it was kind of honest,
Yeah, well, you just said you're selfish, so maybe...
No, but it's also true. Look, we're all selfish. Don't put that on me. I'm not the only one in the world who's selfish. Everybody's selfish in their own way. But I just realized that what I want to do is not a priority with having kids. Like, that matches well with having kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the same reason I can't have a dog of my own.
What's this?
I travel around too much. I work too hard. I'm into too many different things. I use drugs on occasion. like I don't want to be. I don't want to have the responsibility that comes with having a kid.
Yeah, you don't want.
Having a cat would be too much.
You're like, is this Coke or baby formula? I don't know.
I can barely keep my fucking weed plant watered.
Damn. I mean, well, I feel like the same way almost about having a relationship.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can be in a relationship right now.
I was saying right now, right?
I get more
There's a long time I couldn't be, and then sometimes I can, and then sometimes I can't. You go in and out of these things.
I get more joy out of knowing that I booked a gig than if a guy asks me out.
Yeah. Well,
is that crazy?
No, it's not crazy. I mean, sometimes you're more focused on your career, and sometimes you can like fit other things into your life. But you do have to be comfortable with just doing what you have to. I feel like everyone has to have something that doesn't involve a relationship that kind of anchors them. Mm-hmm. You have to have an identity outside of a relationship to be in a relationship, in my opinion.
Oh, for sure.
Like if you're not I would hate to go out with a girl and all we talk about is the same shit. Like, she should have other passions outside of what I'm that don't involve me. Mm-hmm. So when we get together, we talk about things that I don't know. Like, what'd you do? I did this. Oh, it's awesome. Like, tell me more about that. So like doing comedy, it's like, that's my thing. You know? That's why I wouldn't date another female comedian. It's like, we're going to the shows together, mm-hmm. and then if it goes poorly, then I still got to go to the show and see you.
Exactly.
It's a whole fucking thing.
Yeah. Luckily, I only tried to do that one time.
One time? Was it early on?
It was early on.
Yeah, it usually is.
And the guy who is the comedian and I are now really good friends.
Okay.
So it definitely worked out.
You see, that didn't happen to me until I was well after 30. Like having healthy female friendship relationships.
Really?
Well, yeah. I mean, I had female friends, mm-hmm. but they were like, oh, my buddy's girlfriend, or it wasn't like someone I used to date. I would hang around with them after we dated. until I was in my 30s, and like, and I was like, oh yeah, that's just we hooked up once or twice, and there was no there.
How do girls you date now feel about that, or do you not tell them?
What that now I can be friends with women?
Yeah. Do you find that women you date respect that?
Yeah, well, yeah, because I don't harbor any ill will towards these women. Like I said, in my 20s, look, I was with a woman for most of my 20s, right? So that was my primary female relationship. The other women in my orbit were like my friends' girlfriends or my friends' wives, right? So it wasn't like I was hanging out with a ton of single women, because that would have been awkward, And I don't think I was mature enough to have female friends and not have like a weird sexual thing pop up, right? I mean, like when you're 22, you're all piss and vinegar. Like if you the only way like men and women in their 20s can be friends is if they're both mutually unattracted to each other. If one or both, then it's fucking, you cannot be friends with that person, right? But I have female friends now who are attractive women who I'm just not into, that I'm just friends with in a healthy way. Like it's not, it's not something that I sort of, grew into the ability to sort of separate those two things. Be like, yeah, that's not, she's not my kind of gal. No matter how attractive she is, she's just not my kind of gal in that relationship way.
Yeah, yeah.
She's still fun and fun to hang out with, but like, there's no chemistry there.
Yeah. I've definitely always had a lot of male friends, and I think it's...
Well, that's more common for women.
Yeah, I think it's because I always wanted like a big brother growing up.
Okay. Yeah.
So that just sort of went hand in hand.
Yeah.
But like, and I especially...
Or dad.
And when... My dad's in my life now. Hi, Diggy.
Really? He showed up? Okay,
he showed up.
Good.
Yeah, no, he and I are cool. But my dad's awesome. My dad's a big stoner.
All right.
In Alabama. Hell yeah, it does.
More adults, more parents should get high with their children.
Yeah.
There's a fucking hot take for you from the Ready Set Low podcast. I feel like, because you see it all the time now, like, and I hear about it from friends of mine. My parents weren't like this at all, but they had their own things. But like friends of mine, like, oh yeah, I would like, sneak out of the house to smoke weed, and then 10 years later they find out, oh, my mom was smoking weed too, like when I wasn't looking. It's like, well, if you guys got high together, you could have healed some of this fucking like emotional damage you've done to each other over the years, and like you guys would have been closer for it. More parents need to get high with their kids.
Been serving my mom weed since junior year.
Well, now she's just a customer. All right, now you're exploiting your mother.
You know what's funny? I got high with my ex-boyfriend, the guy I dated after my ex-husband. That was my other long-term relationship. I moved to New York with him.
Oh wow, you hauled right away, huh?
I got out of there real quick. Okay. And thank goodness for that relationship, because that was kind of my catalyst for moving to Los Angeles. Okay. But I got high with his family, and they still like all my Facebook and Instagram shit.
Yeah. I've in my
we're still good. Shout out to Colleen.
Exactly. Yeah, in my post engagement years, I've definitely gotten like high with some girls I dated adults, and it's nice to, I don't know, something about smoking weed does bring you closer to people. It's like it's okay, at least I know they're cool. They smoke weed. Like,
it's a bonding thing. It's kind of like sharing food.
Yeah, food's a big one for me. Oh, if I fucking cook and you refuse to eat it, it's like, come on, I'm giving you free. It's fucking disrespectful. Like someone offers you food, you take the food. It's one of those things for me. I mean, because that's also like a poor person thing. I feel like when you don't have much and you invite someone to dinner and all you could do is like give them a piece of the food you got. It's a big fucking. It's a big gesture. Right. And I feel like some people take that for granted.
You're Italian, right?
No, man, I'm Dominican.
You're Dominican?
Yeah.
Oh.
I just seem like I'm from New York and I look like this.
Okay.
I sound like this. Everyone's like, oh, you're Italian. Valera is an Italian name, though.
Yeah.
But they also, raped and pillaged the Dominican population.
Oh, God. Colonization.
I know, right? Although it did give us, pizza. So you have to go with the bad, a little Italian rape, but we got pizza.
If it wasn't for colonization, none of us would be here today. I guess. I don't know.
So you moved to LA in 2015.
Mm-hmm. Okay. No. I came to visit at the end of 2015.
When did you get in town?
I moved to LA at the end of 2017, so 2 years after my divorce.
Okay. So far, so good?
So far, so good.
All right.
Started doing comedy a little over a year ago.
Oh, nice. Fairly new.
Yeah.
You still liking it?
Love it.
Okay. Because this is the first question I got asked by like comics that I respected in Boston, about a year after I started. And I'm like, I'm telling him, I'm trying to work on this and do that. I'm trying to get into this room, and I want to get booked by that guy. And my buddy Corey Rodriguez is like, yeah, man, that's all great, but can I ask you a question? I'm like, what's up? He's like, you still having fun? What? Like, do you still enjoy just doing it? I'm like, yeah. It's like, all right, because that's important. It's like, that's what'll keep you putting up with the bullshit. Like,
right.
It's like all your fucking goals. Fuck that. Like, if you love it, you'll keep doing it. You'll figure it out along the way.
Well, and I forget because you have that. I took like a little bit of a hiatus over the spring.
We all did. It's called the fucking pandemic.
Yeah. Well, no, because I started after the pandemic.
Okay.
I started after. But I took a little of a hiatus this past spring, and it's sort of, as a new comedian, it's a little bit of a dread to go to an open mic.
Oh, no, it's fucking work.
It's like, oh my God, do I have to go?
I'm going to eat my balls on this one. Is any of this funny? I'm trying to even bother trying.
Right. But then I go.
It really is pushing water uphill when you're starting. It's
right.
Like, what? It's fucking demeaning, right? You go to a room with fucking...
You're just like, I'm going to be a clown now.
Yeah, with like 4 other wannabe hopeful comedians and one homeless guy.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're the
like
only...
writing this stuff alone in your head. And I'm like, am I a crazy person for even thinking this thought?
Yeah.
Trying to get a laugh. You don't get everyone's in their phone. It's like, fuck, man, what? Like, this...
And then
what am I? Am I wasting my time? Every time.
And then for me, I'm like usually the only girl.
Am I wasting my time?
Right. And then I'm the only girl in the room.
Yeah.
And so that's daunting in its own way.
And this isn't a room full of attractive guys. Oh, this is, God. I mean, these guys, these guys are like fucking 4 Reddit posts away from a school shooting.
Excuse me, 4chan posts
4chan,
away,
exactly.
okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Get it right.
Yeah, they're not
Get
on
it
Reddit.
right.
They're on the dark web. Fucking trying to print out the instructions for one of those fucking 3D printer guns. You get the instructions like 3D print a gun. That's what they're doing.
I mean, that's why I've had such a sexless summer. I hang out at open mics. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't fuck those guys.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, no.
Although I bet. I tell you what though. I mean, if you really want to be like the queen of the roost, these guys will wait on you hand and foot. I mean, if you threw some pussy their way, they'd be thrilled. They would worship the ground you walk on.
Yeah, they don't have any money.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. The comics are also broke. You want a broke rich guy. You want to go
a broke rich guy.
No, sorry. You want a ugly rich guy. That's it. So you want to go to like the Facebook campus up in Menlo Park.
The Facebook campus.
You want to go to Google's corporate offices.
I need to go book a show in San Jose.
These are the incels you want. These guys who can program but can't tell a joke. These are the guys you want.
Right. Oh yeah, she has tits and people laugh at her. Oh, amazing.
Yeah, you'll wow them.
Yeah.
Wow them.
No, but you know what? When I go to a mic or when I do a show, when I get off the stage, I'm like, okay, I remember why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
I started a podcast too.
That's
I remember
right.
what
That's
we
how we
loves
met.
to see it with my co-host Simone Alexander. She's in Florida right now.
Nice.
But I remember why I'm doing it. I remember the thrill, and and I don't know if you can ever relate to this. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But when jokes hit and when people laugh, it's better than having an orgasm.
Of course. I was like, I can't believe I got away with it.
Yeah.
So, wow, that worked?
Yeah.
That they bought it?
Yeah. Like, it's a big
It makes me laugh. The first few times the joke works, I'm like, well, they bought that.
Right. And I'm going to Denver next weekend for my birthday.
Sweet.
And I sent my...
Happy birthday.
Thank you. And I sent like
26 all over again?
Yeah, 26. And I sent my tape out to, several different clubs, and one of them got back to me today, and they booked me for a couple of shows. So
Sweet.
That feeling was like, okay, I remember why I'm doing this.
Yeah. I don't do enough of that. Just sending the tape out, seeing what the fuck's out there.
You do well, though, I feel like.
Well, I got lucky. I have some
Whose dick did you suck?
Nobody's
Jeff
dick.
Dies.
Nobody's dick.
Ooh.
No way, dude. Dude.
He's pretty cute, so.
I mean, yeah. I only suck dick for money. Not
Really?
For...
How much? What's your going rate?
Well, I mean, what do you got? And how big's the dick?
Micro.
Because the bigger, the better. Yeah, I'm the Joey Chestnut of sucking cock.
Well, that would be lots of them, not necessarily big.
Well,
Oh my God.
I'll take it either way. I'll take it anywhere I can get it.
Speaking of sucking cock,
What's that?
last night I was working and this guy.
Oh, last night I was sucking cock.
Last night, excuse me.
Last night I was working, aka sucking cock.
I was bartending.
I was blowjobbing. Last night I was
blowjobbing. And this guy walks in, and I'm like, oh, why does he look so familiar? Why does he look so familiar? And then we started talking. He tells me he's from Vegas. And I said, oh my God, you're Colby. He's like this huge porn star I know through my dominatrix friends. This huge bisexual porn star.
Bisexual porn star.
Bisexual porn star.
That's got to be the best market to be in. Because think about that. You get, like, they pay you extra to fuck dudes if you're a guy. Mm-hmm. You know, gay for pay. That's a thing. But
I know.
But they also pay you to fuck chicks. And if you're bisexual, like, oh, I can work multiple times a day. I can fuck the whole cast. You know what I'm saying? It's
one big gangbang.
God really gave you the golden ticket if you became a bisexual porn star, and you are actually bisexual.
Well, he's like, I mean, I fuck dudes, but I'm not gay.
Yeah,
gay for pay.
That's what. Yeah.
Gay for pay. A hole is a hole. Okay.
That's what everyone says in prison too.
A hole is a hole. But anyway, we took a photo together, and he put it on his Twitter, and it was like my most liked Twitter post ever. And I've gotten like some new followers from it too.
Did you blow Colby?
No.
Are you going the OnlyFans route?
Am I going the OnlyFans route?
Yeah.
You know, I've thought about doing like an OnlyFans, but like a mukbang thing, and be like, you know,
I know what mukbang is. It's wild.
It's like I'm eating sushi, and it'll say like Mimi takes little Asian thing, you know, or you know, I'm like taking a shot of Bailey's, and it's like Mimi takes. Or gets down on Irish cream. Yeah. Or Mimi gets two cream pies.
The foot stuff.
2 cookies.
There's money in the foot stuff.
Oh, the foot stuff is so played out. The trash is where it's at. Like I said earlier, the trash
beat off.
God, the trash.
It's funny they requested dirty tampons too. He's like, make sure you throw some dirty tampons in there.
Dirty tampons. I mean, what I do? I mean,
so
I literally.
You're in your kitchen taking a perfectly normal tampon and putting it in red wine.
Yeah,
and throwing it in the trash.
That's what. Hey, that's what I did. I mean, I really had to make it realistic for my friend. I had to just like
Hollywood special effects.
Put that little Playtex in the Merlot and just do a little dip and just toss it in.
Yeah,
it's true.
A little cab.
Little OB applicator and the Cabernet.
That's got to be up there with the weirdest kinks I've ever heard, man. I mean, like, I'm trying to think of something weirder, but like the fucking in the Furby costumes.
Oh, the furries?
The furries, yeah. Furby's the toy. Furries. Yeah, furries. That's weird, but the jerking off to the... I at least like the furries, like you cut a hole and actually fuck the human inside of it. Jerking off to trash...
That may be kind of soft, too, you know, and like cuddly. Maybe I could...
Yeah, but who wants to...
Oh, my God. Can I see the... Did I just have a breakthrough?
What, you want to go to furries?
I don't know.
You want to watch furry sex? Is that what you're pulling up right
No,
now?
but I'm saying, like, how soft that would be. You know what I mean?
How soft? I mean, yeah.
Like, if fake fur. Like, that'd be sort of...
Well, I don't think you want to fuck a chinchilla suit. That's not right. We're in L.A. You can't get... Uh-oh, what do we got here?
This is just a furry convention. Let's see what the people around here look like.
Ooh.
I wonder who is the 10 at the Furby convention. 'Cause, you know what I'm saying? Like, is the 10 the one that looks good under the costume? Or is the 10 the one that has the best costume? This is my question about furry conventions. Right? Like, if you're a dime, is it because your costume's this shit? Or is it because you are hot under the costume?
Ugh.
That guy has no chin.
Yeah, these are neck beards.
Yeah, if you're hiding in the costume, I think there's a reason for it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think I spotted
no one who's a 10 has ever been under the fucking costume before.
I think I spotted some open micers there.
Some people you know. That's also the other thing too. This whole thing that you can't kink shame. Dude.
Yeah, no, you can kink shame.
But
anybody that wants to be shit on, that they need to be shamed.
Porn stuff.
And like blood, ugh.
No, but like, isn't it being a kink the part of the turn on? Right? Like, if it was normal, then you wouldn't be into it. So you should be happy it's a kink.
Right.
You should want people to be like, ooh, that's weird. Yeah, what's hot is that it's weird.
Yeah, but
like,
you should still be able to shame
no one's
people
like
that poo-poo
missionary's
on
hot.
each other.
Missionary's normal. You know, like, what's hot is not normal. Go with that. Stop. You should embrace your kink shaming.
Oh God, what
Cooper
is this?
Roach.
I haven't seen a person that doesn't look like a hardcore.
Have you ever dressed up as like
or...
a furry character? Not like sexual, but like for anything else?
No, I'm not a big costume guy.
I had to dress up as Snoopy for a MetLife golf tournament when I was 21. And you know
Wow.
what? You want to know how much I got
They made
paid?
you do it?
What's
How
that?
much?
$800
For a day?
for a day.
Fuck that, dude. That put me in Snoopy costume, son.
And I was a little bit too tall, so the head was kind of like
tall?
stretched out. Yeah, I'm 5'4"
Why
and
did
a
they put
half.
you and not somebody else?
Well, because I was already like working for the company as like a brand ambassador for alcohol, and they liked me. So they're like, okay, well, you're a little bit too tall, but it should work. And they knew I was reliable. So
I'll tell you what, though, for the humiliation, I'd be like, yo, give me fucking 1,000.
I mean, $800 for a Snoopy costume
That is
all
true.
day, and then I got to drink.
Years
I was
back,
drinking
yeah.
in the Snoopy costume. It's great.
You're blowing lines in the Snoopy head.
No, this was
Did
pre
you get hot
that.
in there.
This predated that.
Look at
Kinda
these
stuff.
losers, dude. You know what? See, that's the problem with furry conventions.
Well, she's got some tits on her though.
That's what I'm saying. It's 80-20 dudes to chicks. That's the problem with the furry convention.
I'd probably kill at a furry convention.
In the Snoopy costume?
Oh, absolutely.
Short dudes could catfish a lot of people at a convention like this.
Oh, I bet, yeah. I bet.
Oh,
it's also
wow.
weird that they're bowling in it. Like, I thought they just like to fuck in it, but they like to do regular
No,
things
they
in
want
it?
to. It's a lifestyle, Randy.
It's a lifestyle.
They want to do all kinds of stuff.
I don't get people who have complex lifestyles, honestly. It seems like a lot more work. Like, I'm too lazy to get into any kink like that. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I know what's funny? Is it because I do know like a lot of doms and stuff, people that are very vanilla, they assume that they are into BDSM in their personal lives. They're not. It's like their job.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know?
Yeah. Like it's like a chef. He cooks all day. You think he wants to go home and cook?
No.
Like, it's not really what they're like.
I dated a chef. All he wanted to do was drink Jaeger.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't want to do like. It's like, do you think fucking LeBron James goes home and like, hey, let's play some 1-on-1? He's like, no, I'm fucking done, dude. I want to do something else for 5 fucking minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't want to do that shit.
I wonder if there's any famous people that are like
Famous furries?
into
No, they
being
wear hats.
furries.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good question. Yeah, are there any celebrities who go as furries so you don't know they're celebrities?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's take a guess. Who do you think? Which celebrity do you think is a closet furry?
Definitely Doja Cat.
Doja Cat, huh? Who do you got, Mikey?
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto.
Oh, I have some Jared Leto stories.
Do you have Jared Leto stories?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do tell.
Oh God,
Let's out Jared Leto. Fuck that
Jared
guy.
Leto. Oh
I don't know the
God.
motherfucker.
Oh
He ain't
my
paying
God.
my bills. He doesn't sponsor the podcast.
Am I gonna get strung up and
No.
I don't know. The first name on here on Reddit breaks all the stereotypes we were talking.
Who?
Shakira.
Oh my God, she's a furry.
If you took a head off
I would
something
be
and it
into
was
furries
Shakira,
tomorrow. If that's
like,
true. She's so
lottery.
hot.
What if everybody who's a furry is just like trying to win the lottery of pulling a head off and be like, it's Shakira?
That I would be a furry for the chance to pull off a head and it be Shakira. Are you serious?
That's the first name
Dude,
on the Reddit list.
She's been a dime since I was a teenager, and she still
Now
looks
she's
the
so
same.
hot.
She still looks the same. She must be doing what those Democrats do, drinking the blood of infants.
oh
You know,
my God.
Uterus smoothies, whatever fucking Hillary Clinton's drinking in the morning.
Well, are those conspiracy theories you're into?
Yeah, Mike. Now he's going.
Mike?
No, he's going to the secure rabbit hole now.
I've
Oh,
never
literally
dove down
the rabbit
furry
hole.
ones.
Oh my God.
Well, if we're gonna go here on furry conspiracies, the only other one I know is Andrew McCutcheon for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Every summer used to tweet out furries, and no one knew why. But the furry convention for the national convention was in Pittsburgh during that time, and every year during that time, he hits home runs in over 400.
Wow.
So I don't know, but I'm just saying that guy's hitting percentage is way better
So
during the furry convention.
I have a funny Andrew McCutcheon story. So
Okay, I don't know who that is.
he's like the best player for the Pittsburgh Pirates. So is he still there? Good.
He's been traded around and now is back there.
Okay.
Here's some cool pictures of him. He's a fun cat.
Yeah.
Oh.
So he apparently one of my favorite bartenders at a local bar, I won't say the name, the Woodman. Right here in Sherman Oaks. But One of the bartenders I know all the bartenders. One of the female bartenders, very attractive, very pretty young lady. I guess she was, I don't know where she was. She was here in L.A. or Pittsburgh, but she was working somewhere. And Andrew McCutcheon came in and was, hitting on her. Ended up giving her a phone number, so exchange numbers, whatever. And she walks away. A couple of days later, he just text messaged her a picture of his ass, of his bare ass. So it's not like a dick pic. He just went with an ass pic. So, oh, there it is. Furries.
Wow. Woo.
So this shows all the years he's been tweeting furries since 2014.
It's a code word.
It is.
It's his Batman signal.
Fucking 430,000.
His furman signal.
Furman signal. Well, shout out to Andrew McCutcheon.
So he sent her a photo of his booty.
Just his ass.
And
she just hit a question mark and never responded.
She should have been like, "How much do you want me to peg that?"
Exactly.
Hole for?
Is he looking for a pegging?
And don't do that shit for free.
No, you got to pay extra for the pegging.
You got to pay so much for the pegging.
All right, you want to get the little news, Mimi, before we get out of here?
Hell yeah.
I like pulling up some topics of the day chosen by me.
Already beat you on the Alabama riverboat
You did.
brawl.
I know. You got me beat on that one.
Educate you. Got to listen and learn.
I know. Listen to this. This is sad. Gen Z loves the wife beater tee, but they're canceling the name. The wife beater is canceled. Apparently, they've canceled it. So it's a very popular T-shirt. I guess it's called the A shirt, or the athletic shirt. Sources cite a 1947 murder case involving a Detroit, Michigan man who was arrested for beating his wife to death and was photographed wearing the infamous top. But given our kinder, gentler days, the new name for the controversial classic tee is called the Wife Pleaser. And I can assure you, more women have been displeased by men who wore that shirt and only that shirt than have been pleased by it.
Very true. First of all, that sounds made up, because what Gen Z person is doing all that fucking research?
I know.
All they do is vape. And wear pearl necklaces and dress like they're from 2001.
I know,
okay,
they're wearing Janko jeans
they're
now.
not.
They're going back to my worst era.
At least
we're nostalgic for the shittiest time in your life.
Listen,
what are you talking about?
At least we had Airwalks and Limp Bizkit, okay?
The Airwalks, wow. Forgot about that. Yeah, dude, I still call them wife beaters, and I wear one every day. I'm wearing one right now.
In public?
No, I'm wearing one right now.
Okay. It's an undershirt.
It's an undershirt. Yeah, it's the undershirt I wear every day. And I still call them wife beaters.
I remember when
You know what they used to be called when I was a kid? Guinea tees. Because the Italians wear them.
I never heard
a
that.
Guinea t-shirt. That's even more derogatory, though. I'm probably going to get the fucking Italians on me now. The Italian-American League's going to fucking come down on me.
All I remember about the wife beater shirts is, I wasn't raised, obviously, around men. I had my mother and my grandmother, and I would say something about somebody was wearing a wife beater. My mother would say to me, "Don't say that. That's trashy."
Oh, really?
To use that term.
Wow, she was ahead of her time then.
She said it was trashy. Yeah, she was
then.
woke as fuck.
Your mom was woke.
That's the one good thing about her.
Really, woke in Alabama. Was she like a liberal, or was she just...
She was just progressive and just did the right thing.
Educated woman?
Very educated, yeah.
Okay.
My family was very educated. So I don't really relate to like a lot of the, the Southern stereotypes that people have. And some people come out here and they're like, "Oh, like you're a racist, you're this, you're that, and the other. Don't you say bless your heart?" And I'm like, I have no idea. I mean, if I was a racist, I would have moved to Newport Beach. You know what I mean? Like I would have done all that kind of shit. You know? No,
I'd live in Riverside.
Yeah, I live in the Inland Empire, the Moreno Valley. But yeah, for all of the, the issues, that, I do have with, my upbringing, I will say that I was raised pretty good.
There is a weird thing where if you have an accent, people assume something about you. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, you have a Southern accent? You're an idiot. Mm-hmm. You have a New York accent? Oh, you're fucking bro. All right. My favorite, though, is, oh, you have a British accent? You're brilliant.
Oh.
I watch Love On UK. I'm a devoted fan of Love On UK. Some of the dumbest motherfuckers on planet Earth live in Great Britain. Just because you have an accent doesn't make you smart.
Yeah, babe, that's all the inbreeding, okay?
Dude, it's literally the Jersey Shore UK style. That's what Love On UK is. It's crazy.
Absolutely.
But because you have an accent, people really fucking put something on you. Mm-hmm. Like, oh yeah, you sound like a Southern belle. You must be, It's like, no, I actually have a job and I've been, I'm not like kept woman. Like there's a lot of People like to say they don't judge a book by its cover, but they fucking judge a book by its cover constantly.
Oh, yeah.
Constantly.
Absolutely. What else you got?
I'll get off my soapbox. Lizzo has been dropped from the list of artists for consideration to perform during the Super Bowl halftime show this year. The list of performers is not made public, but betting odds from Covers.com currently lists the artists as Miley Cyrus, Harry Styles, and Bad Bunny among the top names, and a source inside the NFL said her candidacy is dead on arrival. Lizzo, 35, recently became enveloped in a controversy after she was accused of body shaming and sexual harassment during her recent tour, the special tour, by several of her backup dancers. The suit alleges that Lizzo regularly created uncomfortable sexual situations, such as forcing tour cast members to eat bananas protruding from other cast members' private parts and touching nude performers. So Lizzo, queen of the fat bitches, is now getting canceled for body shaming. It's over for Lizzo. For now. She'll come back.
Wait. That was a lot for me to digest.
I know. Lizzo,
I don't know if that's the right word. I'm talking about banana eating.
I know. But apparently Lizzo, who is, I don't know how she became like the spokesperson. I've talked about this like 3 weeks in a row. But I don't know how she became like the spokesperson for body positivity. Somehow she is the one. But she got canceled for fat shaming her own or body shaming her own crew, and apparently me tooing them a little bit, a little touchy.
I guess I can do my Lizzo joke now. It's okay.
You should always have done it. I didn't know she was 35. Bitch is old, so I thought she was younger than that.
She's
like,
old
for musical fame for Hollywood.
No, that is true.
You know what I'm saying?
That is true. Well,
they Black
say,
Don't Crack. I thought she was probably like 30.
Well, no,
29, 30.
Well, they say when it's age in music, if you're younger, you have to have a look. If you're older,
she has a look.
It needs to be a sound, right? So she was unique. She plays the flute. She was.
Did she play the flute on her records? Mike, no.
I mean,
Do you think I know this?
Tell us.
You have to look it up. Fuck it. I don't care. Fuck.
I'm really caught up. So
her
she
jazz
would
flute.
Wait. Would she make her dancers perform fellatio and cunnilingus on each other
with bananas?
Is that considered sodomy if they're eating out of somebody's butthole? Is that sodomy? If you're ass eating?
If the bananas in your asshole, it's sodomy.
Yes.
Yeah, so I had to think about that. I didn't really gather my faculties for the sodomy question.
I mean, is there proof of this is just literally? I mean, it's very insane and quirky, and the only thing I can surmise from this is that Lizzo's a furry.
Makes sense.
Yeah, she gets dressed as one of the Macy's Day Parade blimps.
Lizzo's a furry. She's in denial about it.
I just can't believe how quickly they fucking turn on their own. She was like some sort of fucking status piece in the woke community, and now just an accusation of her making them eat bananas out of each other's assholes.
Well, for me, it's just so sensational that a part of me honestly doesn't believe it. I'd want to see the proof. You know what I mean?
I will say this about Donald Trump supporters: they are very loyal. No matter what,
I know.
No matter what comes out about him, they back him. Whereas Democrats, you even have a hint of a transgression and you're fucking dead to them. You know what I'm saying? Somehow Donald Trump's his permanent loyalty. It's pretty impressive. All right,
I don't get it.
I know, neither do I. All right, here's the last one. And this one I saved because I thought it'd be apropos because we were talking about this a little bit earlier. But a woman with 9 months left to live asks her husband if she can sleep with her ex just one last time. How crazy is this? So, I guess a woman has a severe terminal illness, and it says that a husband shared on Reddit that his dying wife's last wish is to have one final intimate encounter with her ex, whom she considers her most physically compatible lover. He's torn between granting her the wish and feeling hurt and betrayed by the request. According to doctors, she may need a wheelchair in 4 to 5 months, and by 8 months, she'll likely be bedridden in her final weeks. So, would you allow apparently he's been married to her for 10 years, would you allow your husband, or I guess your husband, maybe wife, of 10 years, have sex with one of their exes as their dying wish?
Yeah, because I'm already be doing whatever I want to on the side. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, my terminally cancerous husband. Fuck him. I'm already meeting my new boyfriend.
Pretty much.
What a weird request, though.
Where'd you find this news piece?
This is from Reddit, but it was on Unilad. It was on Wasted.com. It was on Jerry News. You know, all of the reputable locations for news.
All of the sources to the intelligentsia.
Incel.org.
Incel.org. But listen, can you imagine, though, like, your wife of 10 years, your husband, it's like, hey, you know, I'm going to be bedridden in 9 months. I want to go fuck my ex. I'd be like, what?
Maybe he's a cuck and should be okay with it.
Well, first of all, if I was the non-dying party requesting to have sex with my ex, like, yeah, you can go fuck them. Also, we're done here. Like, you're gonna die alone now. You know, like I'm not gonna put up with your last 9 months. You're fucking somebody else. Like, all right, well then we're done now. You know, I'm gonna
really. You'd be that.
Well, I'm gonna move. The bitch is dying, man. Like, she's already died.
Yeah.
She wants to fuck somebody else. I'm out.
Would you go visit her though?
Why?
But what if she wanted to fuck you too? What if she wanted a threesome?
No. We have a
DP?
threesome with a terminally cancerous person and some guy I don't know. It sounds like a horrible threesome.
Sounds like somebody's kink.
Oh, yeah, it's a good point. This day and age, if they're jerking off to trash or jerking off to that.
They're jerking off to some bitch with a ventilator in her mouth,
but also, like, I feel like this is only a woman would request that part of it. Like, only a woman on her deathbed would say, I want to have sex with an ex. Because a guy likes novelty, a guy likes new.
Exactly.
Like if it was me on my deathbed, what are you doing? I'm going down to Mexico and fucking an entire whorehouse full of whores. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm blowing the 401k.
So you have just proved my point that men don't
go back and fuck some girl I already fucked?
No, that men don't like good pussy. Men just like new pussy.
Well,
a new hole.
No, there is good pussy, but novelty is hard to beat for men. Novelty is hard to beat for men. Like, yeah, that's that old saying.
For some women, too.
No matter how hot a girl is, there's always a guy tired of fucking her. That's an old saying.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not true. I think because you could still be in love with your wife, but you could still be like, oh man, there's something new.
Yeah.
You know, like I love my wife, but new.
You guys can compartmentalize things.
No, but we're also bred that way. Yeah, you can compartmentalize. This is part of how nature works. Like, nature wants men to seek novelty. You know, like. It's part
What
of,
does it want women to do? Please enlighten us.
Take our fucking money and resources. Which you guys are
You
excellent
can Venmo me at Mimi820. At Mimi820 is my Venmo. Do you understand, you little bitch? You need to fucking Venmo me as soon as you listen to this podcast, okay? You're nothing.
You're nothing. Financial domination at MimiLandru.com.
Actually, that is my website.
No, man, but like it is weird. It's like, I want to go fuck this guy. Also, what if he doesn't want to fuck her? You know, she just assumes that her ex would have her back.
Listen, she got that good.
I don't know about that.
Truth hurts, as Lizzo would say.
She was married to him for 10 years. She might be fat and fucking weird looking now, right? Things could change over 10 years. Also, she's got a terminal illness. She wheels up there and fucking in her wheelchair. He might be like, I'm not doing it, dude. Like, you're like.
She's like, wheels up there. She's like, hi.
Yeah, her legs don't work until she picks them up. Yeah, she has to like pin her legs behind her head.
I mean, I can do that too, but we're on now. At Mimi820 is the Venmo, okay? Thank you.
This was fun. Where else can they find you besides your Venmo?
It's the only one that's needed, baby.
Exactly, the most important one.
Send a $5 tip and you can get the rest of that.
$12.75, okay? Go ahead.
Yeah, plug the podcast.
So I have my podcast, We Loves to See It. You can find us on Spotify and YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, me and my co-host, Simone Alexander. Next up, I'm always at Third Wheel Comedy. They're also the host of my podcast. They have a great podcast studio as well as the one we have here if we want to plug this podcast.
Second Floor Studios, yeah. I moved over because Mikey's my guy.
Well, Mikey at Third Wheel is my guy.
Oh, yeah.
Mike
Nolan, yes.
No.
Oh, Mazzolati.
You just combined them. Nolan Culver.
And Mike I finally met him in Seattle a few months back.
Oh, he's awesome.
Shout out Nolan Culver. Good guy.
He's a sweetheart. All those guys
are
great. I'm going to be at the Dime August 29th. I don't know. When is this going to air?
Next week.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. So I have my birthday mic, August 23rd at Rock and Rise in West Hollywood. My good friend Nasia will be featuring. Open micers can come. You get 5-minute slots and it's free. And like I said, we'll be celebrating my birthday.
Nasia moved to the town, didn't she?
Yes, she's here. She's here. Yeah, we were talking about you.
I remember her. I got her on the podcast.
Yeah, she's awesome. one of my good comedy girlfriends for sure. Next week I will be in Denver at Denver Comedy Lounge at 9 p.m. on Friday the 17th, and then at 8 on Friday the I don't even know what day it is.
I'm impressed because I do this every fucking week and I don't plug my own shit. So,
no, I'll be there next Friday at Denver Comedy Lounge at 9 p.m. and then again on Saturday the 19th at 8 p.m.
Nice. Very nice. Well, you'll find my dates on jeffdye.com as usual. As usual. No, but I'll be in Alaska.
Ooh.
September 4th through 6th.
Labor Day weekend.
That's right. No, that's right after Labor Day. It's Wednesday through Saturday. Mm-hmm. I'll be in Alaska after Labor Day. And then the 14th through 16th, I'll be back in Dallas at TK's. Nice. Which will be fun. I got some local shows coming up, but I'll promote those all on my Instagram at Randy Valerio, at Mimi Landru.
Yep. MIMILANDRU.
Yep. All right, guys. Thanks for doing this. It's fun.
Thank you.
All right, guys. That's it for this one. Check you next week. Peace.